estimate is essentially an approximate calculation of a value or quantity of something. Basically, it's a rough guess at what the size of the number should be. A lot of times this is helpful when it's not necessary to note the exact answer, and we just need to know approximately what the answer would be. So we're going to work through two examples here with estimates. The first one being that we are planning a trip from Whitewater to Atlanta, Georgia, and we're told that the distance is about 829 miles. And now, first, we are told that if a person is planning to drive for 2 days, approximately how many miles would they be driving each day? So we essentially want to take our number of miles and divide by 2, but I don't always want to take 829 and divide that by 2. So maybe you need a calculator for that. Maybe that's a bit more work to do in your head. But what we can do is round this down to 800. And now 800 is a whole lot easier to divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 800 divided by 2 is 400. So this means they would need to drive 400 miles each day, approximately. The next one, we have if a person is driving at 70 miles per hour, estimate the time to drive. Well, let's break down what this means here. If they're driving at 70 miles an hour, then this means after 1 hour, they have traveled 70 miles. If 2 hours goes by, that means that they have traveled 70 times 2, which is 140. So they've gone 140 miles. Maybe let's scale this up a little bit and suppose 10 hours have gone by. Then that means the distance that they have gone is 70 times 10, which that is 700. So they've gone 700 miles after 10 hours. But we need to get close to a number around 829 miles because that's the actual distance between the two cities. So if we continue this trend, 11 hours, well, that would mean they've gone 70 times 11, which is essentially the same thing as taking our 700 after 10 hours and adding another 70 miles to that to get 770 miles. We're almost close to our 829 miles that we need to go. So let's see how many miles they would be at after 12 hours. 70 times 12, well, that's going to be our 770 plus another 70 to give us 840 miles. I'd say 840 miles is pretty close to 829 miles. So this would mean after about 12 hours, they will be, is how long it will take. The next problem here is we know from science that there's an exact formula to convert Celsius temperature into Fahrenheit. However, just for our purpose of understanding what the temperature is between Canadian cities and US cities, we don't need the exact formula. What we can use, though, is a simple approximation that we can take twice the Celsius temperature and then plus 30 to that, and that will tell us the Fahrenheit approximation. So we have that in Woodstock, Canada. The temperature is 28 degrees Celsius. And we want to know what would that be in Fahrenheit, because that's how most of us here in the US understand temperature. So that means I can take the 28 degrees Celsius, and my approximation formula here tells me that I need to take twice this. So we're going to multiply this by 2. So 28 times 2, that gives us 56. And now my formula tells me I need to add 30 to this. So this is going to give me 86. And now this is my temperature in Fahrenheit. So that means 28 degrees Celsius is approximately the same temperature as 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, we want to work the other direction. So we are told that the temperature in whitewater is 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's think about how you can approximate the Celsius temperature from this. So we have 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and now I want to work backwards from my formula that I did earlier. So the last step that I had done was I had added 30 to this. So now I need to undo that step. So I am going to do the opposite of add, and I'm going to subtract 30. So now that gives me 42. And now I'm going to take a look at what I had done in my last problem. The step before that, I had multiplied by 2. So now, in order to undo multiplication, I need to divide. So I'm going to divide this by 2. So 42 divided by 2 gives us 21. And now this is my Celsius temperature. That it's approximately 21 degrees Celsius.